Hey everybody, so today I'm going to show you kind of the real reason for a survival bracelet made out of paracord. Basically what I'm going to do is I've got a wire saw here, and this is great because it's flexible and it still allows you to cut through branches. You could even cut through a tree if you had the patience to do so, but it comes in handy if you're ever in a survival situation where you need to cut through something. These saws do come with these big rings on the end of them, but I'm taking them off for the bracelet just because they're really hard to incorporate into the bracelet. And these ends on the end of the saw, they actually do give you enough to actually grip on. If you put it in between your fingers like this and grip it, that still gives you plenty of force to grab hold of. But let's get started on the bracelet and then we'll come back to this and work it in. So what I have here is basically for the Solomon, which I'm going to do. If you're going to do a 9-inch bracelet, you're going to need 9 feet of paracord. So for every foot that you're going to measure on the wrist, or for every inch that you measure on your wrist, that's how many feet of paracord you're going to use. Or roughly. Sometimes you're going to want to add about a ½ inch to an inch to the measurement you get on your wrist, just to give you a little slack there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 ends, and I've already flattened the ends so that we can get it down through the buckle a little bit easier. But we're just going to go down through the top of the buckle with both ends. And I'm just doing a solid color, or one single color this time. This is the neon orange camo, or I believe it's also called just orange camo. I like this color a lot though. This will be a good one for a hunter. And we're just going to, basically what I just did there is the 2 strands that you put down through there, you're going to open that up, grab the strands that you put in there and pull them through, and that's all I'm doing now is pulling those through. Give me my cow's hitch. That's the cow's hitch right there. Now what I need to do is I need to get the paracord up through the buckle here. So I'm just going to run these through my fingers and then run the paracord up through the buckle. And the reason why I ran it through my fingers, that's so that we don't have any twisting going on. See, we have two strands, 2 loops here now. That's actually what the size of your bracelet's going to be. So now what you want to do is you want to measure. Get this set up here real quick though first. So whatever you measured your wrist circumference, that's where you're going to measure. From here, this little ledge, you don't want to do the clip part, but to the ledge right there, down to the end of the buckle here. And that's going to be the length of your bracelet. Now, your 2 inner strands here, oh, it looks like we got them, oh no, we're not twisted, but our paracord's twisted a little bit. Let me pull this down through here and get that twist out of there. Alright. Oops, what am I doing? Sorry about that. What do I got going here? Alright, here we go. Sorry, I got kind of turned around there for a second. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to set up your bracelet just like this. And basically we've got our cow's hitch, paracord going over this side of the buckle and then coming up through. So what we're going to do first is just to lock this on. Just to get the paracord nice and locked on there, we're going to do a Solomon knot. So take your left cord, take it over the 2 center strands, and off to the right. Leave a loop on the left. Take your right cord, go over that left cord, take it around the back 2 strands, and through that loop that you created on the first pass. Now pull your slack through, and pull this nice and tight right up against the buckle so that the paracord doesn't have a chance to slide down on the buckle. Now this would be very wise to check your length right here at this point. Hold on, I'm going to adjust my camera real quick here. There we go, that's a little better. It'd be wise to double check your length because this is the point of no return right here. So what I want to do is I've got to basically run this inside of the bracelet about the length of the bracelet. So there's going to be a couple bends in here that I'm going to have to make, and you don't want to do it too tightly for risk of breaking this wire, but it's got to be done good enough to where it will all fit. And all I'm doing is making a single strand of this wire right now. Perfect. Okay, and once I get to this point, I'm just going to take a couple pieces of tape. I was really hoping to find some electrical tape because that'd probably work a little bit better than this masking tape. I'm actually going to tape this end and also leave a little extra right here, and I'll show you why in just a second. I'm going to tape the other end. Something just like that. Now we're going to use these extra flaps here to actually tape it right to the center strand. So you want this as straight as you can get it. Get that down on the inner strands. So you're going to be tying over top of this, so you're not going to see this. So we're just going to wrap this right around those inner strands. Now I have seen where people will put this inside of some shrink tube and then shrink it. But if you don't have a knife with you and you need to get to this, it can be very, very hard to open up that shrink wrap. Just a little bit of tape, it shouldn't be too hard. But there we go. So we have our saw now in the center of our bracelet. So all we're going to do now is work on actually building the bracelet and just work right over top of this. So we took the left side over the top 2 strands. Now we're going to take the right side, and it's going to alternate left, right, left, right, left, right. It's going to be the same strand that goes over top to start it. So now it's the right side. The left side goes over the right, goes around the back, and through that hole. And then we're going to pull this tight. Now because this wire saw has like these little teeth on them, you can kind of hear that there. The paracord kind of wants to grip it. So you're going to have to work each strand so that you can get it pulled nice and tight, because that's trying to grip that paracord. Okay, so now we do the left side. And the way that you can tell, let me zoom in on this. The way that you can tell which side you go over top with, just look at the last one. You can see the paracord's going off to the left here. That's the one that went over top. So use that one. So if it's going off to the left, use the left one. If this is going off to the right and it's attached to that side, then use the right one. So just take your left cord, create a loop, take your right cord, go over it, go back behind, bring it through the loop, and get her pulled tight. And you're going to want to cinch this up around that wire so you can't see it. And just keep on cinching it up. Those teeth are kind of making it a little difficult to get it pulled nice and tight, but if you keep cinching it up, you can get it pretty good. Alright, so let me go back to that. And I'm just going to do a few more here. The main part I wanted you to see is how to get the actual saw in the inside of this bracelet. Create a loop on the right, take it over the center strands, left over right, behind the back, through the loop. This is about as easy as a bracelet as you can make. And then just check the back side, make sure that the saw isn't poking through, because it has the potential to irritate your skin if it's exposed. Now we start with the left side, over the top, over right side over left, go around the back, up through that loop. Pull her tight. Well, I'm going to finish this up, and I will be back to show you how to snip your ends, singe them, and then you'll have a completed true survival bracelet. Okay, so we're down to the bottom. And I got enough room here to do one more Solomon. So just create a loop on the left, cross over it, bring it up through the bottom. pull this nice and tight. And when you do this, also look to the other side. Make sure you're not going over top of that cow's hitch. Kind of tuck it in behind there and pull that tight. Now we're just going to snip the ends. Maybe. Oh, here they are. Thought I saw them underneath. I got them here. So we're just going to cut the ends here. Singe it. Might be kind of hard to see the flame on the video, but I'm using the low part of the flame just so that it kind of liquefies the paracord instead of burning it. And then we're going to use our scissors and kind of roll this over it. It gives you a real nice smooth edge right there. Snip this side, do the same thing. Now I have seen other people, they'll put all kinds of stuff in there. They'll use a piece of foil, and inside the foil they'll put some fishing lines, some fishing hooks, some little weights for the fishing line. I've even seen some people put some matches inside of a drinking straw, melt the ends and seal it so that it's completely waterproof. But there you have it. That is the finished bracelet. It's a little smaller than I wanted it, but you get the idea. Inside of it there is a wire saw, and that's about it. If you do get one of the wire saws, now you got a couple of good nice looking key rings that you can do some lanyards with, some key holders. But there you go. Thanks again for watching the tutorial. Please hit that subscribe button and paracord on.